Hello, everyone, and welcome to this BB Dev Day session, Growing Your Copilot Prompting Powers. My name is Derek Martin, and I lead our solution architect team here at Blackbaud. I'm just going to do a little light webinar housekeeping before we get started. So just really quick, the audio for this webinar, it's being broadcast through your computer speakers. If you're having trouble with your audio, try refreshing your browser first for audio or really any technical issues. Recordings so that you can watch on demand will be made available after BB Dev Days closes, so you can expect those to be available on the website around end of day Friday. And then for those of you who have a regular pass, that will be available for about 15 days. And then for folks who have developer or explorer passes, you will be able to access those recordings for 60 days. There are some slides that you can download from this session. They're in the Docs tab that's on the right side of your screen. Use the chat freely throughout the session to submit your questions. For group conversations, rather, I should say. And then Q&A is if you've got a question for Beth, submit that through the Q&A panel, and I'll be monitoring that throughout the session today. So we are very fortunate to be joined by Beth Humphreys from Microsoft for this session. And Beth, I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself. And I'm going to go on mute here and let you take the session from here.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Derek. It is my pleasure and my privilege to be here. And I wanted to just say a really great big thank you to the Blackbaud team for inviting me to come in and have this opportunity to show you my own best practices for how I use Copilot in my everyday. So my name is Beth Humphreys. I am the managing director for the America's Global Partner Solutions team. I lead a small, little, scrappy team who focuses on technical skilling for our partners. And some of you may know or may not know one of the architects that works on my team. I have a cross-solution area architect team. They cross everything from our business apps, applications and platforms, Azure, our modern work and Copilot platforms, and security. And so that's the team that I lead. I've been with Microsoft now for 20 years. I've been in the technology industry for over 30, and I can't believe I'm saying that number out loud. And I just really have a big passion for technology. I'm very, very technically curious. So I've had a career that spanned everything from being in IT, mostly in the infrastructure side of things. My original Twitter handle was Server Girl, and so I was technical in that way. And then I moved over to Microsoft in 2005, and I was an infrastructure evangelist. So I worked with our developer community in that way, moved into our sales organization as a technology strategist, and then decided that I wanted to go get a master's degree in business. And I ended up moving into management and leading teams very specifically. I have a big passion for developing technical leaders. And that's not about being deep in the technology. It's about how you lead while being a very deep technologist. It's something that is like a side hustle for me. I just love everything leadership. I like to off-road. My husband and I like to off-road. We're located here in the Chicago area, but we also split our time between here and Wyoming. And so we like to go and explore. And I am a huge Formula One fanatic. It is not a race weekend this weekend, but last weekend was quite an exciting one with some interesting results. So I like motorsports. So that's a little bit about me. What I wanted to focus on today with all of you is how you think about using Copilot. So computers have gotten a lot smarter. So when I think about where I was just a year ago, it amazes me at how far and how fast that we have come in the field of computing and even in AI. It has just kind of come in like a speed train. My first real experience with AI was a few years ago with cognitive AI. And I remember going to our AI website where it had this little thing where you can say, hey, go and based off of my picture, go and tell me what actor or actress I look the most like. And so it came up with Tracy Pollan. I don't know if you know who she is. She is the wife of Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future. But she also was a star on the 80s sitcom series here in the United States called Family Ties. Now, I don't know about what the large language models or whatever models they looked at back then, but I don't think they were as well tuned as they are today, because I don't really agree with what that difference is. I don't think that I look anything like her, so I think that's interesting. But I digress. Who would have thought that we could do the things that we are doing today with Copilot and with AI? I would never have imagined it. I feel like I'm in a Star Trek episode where I'm having a conversation with the computer and is actually kind of just like the TV show. So we're having things in very natural language. But I got a little secret to tell you. I was a really, really slow adopter of Copilot. Really, really slow adopter. A lot of it was because I wasn't really sure how to get started at all. And so the true power and potential of Copilot is really unlocked by your own creativity and your skills and the knowledge that you have as a professional and personally. It's about what can I do? What can Copilot help me go do in my everyday tasks? And how can it help me go do that faster or better? And then it's about how do I do it? And this is where prompt engineering skills kind of comes to the fore. How do I ask the right questions in the right way to get the best out of Copilot? So you see, I have plenty of imagination, but what I didn't have was the how. I just didn't really know how to get started with it. What can I go and do? So this is me now helping you maybe get up and out of that if you're sitting in, well, I'm not sure how to get started and all of that kind of stuff. So I want to focus on what you can go and do today with Copilot Chat. I'm going to show you some best practices. I'm going to show you a little bit of how you can go do it with a little bit of a demo. And if you have Copilot, feel free to follow along with me as you go if you want to. Okay, so there is an art and science to prompting. So let me tell you a little bit about it. First, the way you interact with Copilot is through prompts, right? I think everybody is probably pretty well versed on what that means. You need to tell Copilot what it is you need it to do for you. That's really what that is. But I know one of the pitfalls that I fell into was how to get started with it. So here's how you can think about it if you are in kind of like that stuck with getting going. Think about Copilot as a new assistant who has been hired to help you. You need to tell that assistant the things that you needed to do. So you're going to be telling them, I need you to go do this. This is where you go find that in order to help you go do this. So it's all about what kind of information you're going to give them. And so doing this in natural language it actually works. It actually works in Copilot. So it can be everything from asking questions. You can ask it to summarize something, rewrite something. I use it to help me write more concisely. I am a very kind of prolific writer and I really dislike writing. So I use it to help wordsmith things in a more concise and clear way. So it's just really asking it something that you needed to do to get your goal across to Copilot. So that's really what it's about. So it feels very, very limitless, which can be a little daunting all at the same time of what you can go do with Copilot. But to get the most out of it, it does take a little bit of art and science. So let me show you a good model that you can use in your head for how you structure a good prompt. So to get the best responses out of your prompts, there's 4 things you can look at. It's goal, context, source, and expectations. So those are the 4 things. So when you look at the goal, it's what do you want from Copilot? Clearly define what you want to achieve. It helps Copilot really get out your desired outcome and be able to tailor its response back to you accordingly. But you also need to give it context. So this is the why. Why do you need it? Who's involved? And then provide some background information around it. Mention why you need it. Like, I need to plan a dinner because it's my best friend's birthday, right? So my goal is I need to plan a dinner, and the why is because it's my best friend's birthday. So you also need to give it a source. So what kind of information or samples do you need it to go look at that will help tune its response in? It could be, I need you to go and look at across this document. I need you to go and look at this report. I need you to go and look at this span of time of Teams meetings or chats, or my inbox between this time and this time looking for something specific. So give it something to go and use to go get information from that will help tune the response even further. And then finally, it's expectations. How do you want it to respond to you? Now, that sounds like a little daunting, but it's actually a lot simpler than you think it is. And give it to me in a table with these columns named this, or put it into a bullet point list with bullets that have no more than 2 sentences each, something like that. That's how you kind of use this model. So it's goal, what, context, why, source, where do you want it to go look for information, and how do you want it to look when it responds to you. So let's make this a little bit more real. So the art and science of prompting through GCSE, because everything is an acronym. Let's make it real. I mentioned a dinner that I wanted to go and plan. So I need a dinner menu for 6 people. This girl right here is a very, very lazy cook. So I'm going to go ask Copilot to help me out with this. I've got 6 people. I need a dinner menu. That's my goal. Context is because it's from my best friend, and my best friend loves Italian food. So now you're really setting the context. Now I'm going to go focus on Italian food and go look out across the web at the most popular cooking and recipe sites. So now I'm going to go tell you where to go look for stuff. And then summarize it for easy Italian recipes. And then how I want you to bring it back to me is put it into a table with the name of the recipe and the URL I can go click on and go look at it for myself. So there's the goal, the context, the source, and the expectations of how I want you to respond. Let's put this into a little bit more of a work-related one. So here's one where maybe you want to prepare for a meeting of some kind. Maybe it's a customer meeting, and like in this example, I need 3 to 5 bullet points, your goal, to prepare me for a meeting with client X to discuss Y. So now you're giving it the context. Go look out across my emails with that customer. You can even tune it in even further with something very specific if you want to in this statement. And across this time frame, maybe like I don't want you to look out across 3 years that I've been doing, so that's not going to help me. Maybe I needed something that has more recent information, and then use simple language so that I can get up to speed really, really quickly. So I just need something that will kind of like help me remember the things that we had been talking about. So this is a really, really simple prompt, but I think it kind of gets the message across of how you can go and use the GCSE model. Okay, it is impossible to write a perfect prompt. Just going to get that right out there. So definitely follow up in your session with Copilot, and I'll show you what that looks like until you reach the response that you're looking for. Okay, because there's no such thing as a perfect prompt. You can ask it questions based on the responses, or maybe you're going to get some ideas from the responses that it gives you. And this is something that I capitalize on very regularly when I'm doing it. Another great practice is to be very iterative in how you are structuring your prompt, breaking it up into multiple different steps or prompts. That can help really get a Copilot session going in a direction that you really want it to go. And I will show you what that looks like. That actually is a really, really good skill to develop as you go with using Copilot. So you can use Copilot for so many different things, including helping you learn, write something for you, summarize things, which is the most common thing. Maybe change the way something's being delivered. Like, hey, I've got this Word document. I need you to parse it into a PowerPoint deck for me. I'm a terrible PowerPoint deck creator. Mine are so ugly, in case you can't tell. Edit a document, analyze information, go do research. So there's a lot of stuff. So don't be afraid to be verbose. However, I'm going to put a little asterisk on there when I say verbose. It doesn't mean one big long prompt. It means that it's okay for you to have multiple iterations within a session that you have with Copilot. That's a very, very regular thing for me. And the wonderful thing about Copilot Chat is that it keeps everything in context within that chat. So it remembers what you have given it and what you have asked and what is delivered back to you. And so it can go and reason out across that all-in-one session and keep it in context, and it's very helpful. Okay, so let's try this out. As I was thinking about how to pull a presentation like this together to actually demonstrate what it looks like, I gotta tell you, I was just stuck. I sat for 45 minutes clicking around, going to all these a million different Copilot prompting sites that are out there and just losing my mind because it was just so much information. I didn't know what I wanted to demo. Oh, I could go do that. Oh, but that might be too complicated. I'm not really sure. I need something really quick. And finally, it just kind of dawned on me. I'm like, well, what if I ask Copilot what a good demo could look like and give me one? And I want to show you what my process is, because me looking for how to go demo what this looks like is the demo that I am actually going to go and show all of you, that kind of highlights the goal and context and all of that sort of thing. But it's the iterative prompting that I'm actually really going to show you through that. So bear with me. I'm going to stop sharing on the PowerPoint. And I am going to switch to screen sharing. If you give me just one moment, I'm going to share this. Let me go ahead and move me out of the way so I'm not looking at myself. Okay, so here I am in Copilot Chat. Okay, this may look familiar to most of you. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do, and there's a whole bunch of agents, but I'm going to keep this super duper simple. I need to create a demo. I'm looking for a demo. So I don't make fun of me here. I actually wrote down the prompts that I used as a part of this, and I threw them into Notepad, and that's because I'm a terrible typer. And so I'm just going to go and throw them in chat. Okay, so this is what I started out with. I'm creating a demo. I need to highlight the capabilities of Copilot Chat. Can you help me build out a demo? Nice and simple. It's very, very, very simple. I could have made this even more verbose and all of that kind of thing. Here's its response. Yes, you could go do these things. Help me understand this. And the thing that I think is wonderful about how this is structured is, hey, I can help you script the flow. I can, example prompts. So it's almost like prompting you to be thinking about more as well. So it's a nice little helper here on how you're trying to go do this. Great, thanks, Copilot. This is great. I am actually looking for some specific scenarios, right? Because, who wants just a generic bland thing that I'm just going to show? It's like, oh, here's me recapping a meeting. I'm really looking for something else. Okay, so give me some ideas. All right, some of these are really interesting. Information discovery and summarization. This is going to be really handy for me because I'm about to go on vacation. That's going to be very interesting. Meeting prep and follow-up. Okay, knowledge expertise, crafting, creating, drafting, my most popular thing that I go to, and then productivity and all of that stuff. Okay, very interesting. This is pretty good. Now I'm starting to get ideas. Now I want to narrow it down. I think I'm actually, because I've said iterate like a million times already so far, this is something really important that I want to go show everybody. So show me some ideas on how I can do an iterative scenario now. Now I'm getting more specific on what I'm looking for because I'm getting ideas from how it is responding back to me. So here it is. giving me a scenario. It's like, hey, here's how you can go and do discovery, drafting, refinement, et cetera, et cetera. Here's a step-by-step. Here's a prompt. Here's what it's doing and why. And so it's given me kind of a step-by-step. Okay, that's interesting. Kind of feels a little, I don't know, more tuned in for me because Copilot knows a little bit about me because it's sitting on my work profile. And so it's kind of pulling from that. People that are on this call don't work for Microsoft. So what I really want to do is I want to make this more of a sample scenario. Maybe where I need to summarize a customer meeting, not only for the VP that sat in that meeting with me, but also for the rest and for the customer, as including action items. Super common scenario. We all sit in either internal or external customer meetings. This is something that's very relatable and very simple. So help me create a sample scenario. It's like, oh, great, thanks. All right. All right, so here's a really great prompt. All right, summarize these notes, okay? Tailor it, here's the prompt. Here's another prompt for my vice president, for my team, taking action. Oh, this really isn't that bad. Okay, well, let's see what more I could get out of that. I think I want a demo script. So now I'm thinking more broadly of, hey, if I had a demo script for this, I could use this over and over again when I get asked to go do this. Okay, so I also might be able to go give this and somebody else can go and deliver it and maybe build on my ideas and make it even better. So give me a demo script now that I can use and maybe it's sitting on the side, or maybe I want to go use this in a future class with somebody. Okay, so here's a step-by-step demo script. Oh, okay, really interesting. This is going to help me get much further into a talk track with everybody for my VP. All right, this is pretty detailed. Now, I can go and take this and say, okay, put this into a Word document. I could go do that. So now I have an asset that I can just go use and maybe work on more. But I think that I want to iterate even further on this one and maybe give it a sample something to go reason over from a context perspective. So remember, go look at this information or these emails or this document or that report. I think I want one of those assets for this demo, but I'm too lazy to go create sample customer meeting notes because I am inherently lazy when it comes to writing. And so I think that I can have Copilot make them for me. Can you create meeting notes for this demo for a fictitious company called Crazy for Formula One? And I want fictitious executives and etc. So it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Here's some interesting results. Here's the topics we talked about. Okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, this isn't bad. But I think that I want to adjust the meeting notes more so that they can play on the company name, Crazy for Formula One. It already has some of that stuff in there, but I think I really wanted to focus in on something that's fun as well. So here I am. All right, here's the results here. Fan zone. Okay, so see, it's starting to kind of like, hey, Monaco Grand Prix. Okay, all right, pit stop sinks. That's interesting, but I don't know. This isn't really quite what I was looking for. It's kind of fun, but it's not really as relevant as I was hoping that it would be. So I need a little bit more. So let's try it again. Let's look at this again. So this is me kind of doing a little bit of a do-over on the prompt that I had originally given it. And so I really want it for some very specific topics, like we talked about a business model, we talked about objectives, technical needs, specific projects that they have coming up. These are pretty typical things, but it makes a demo scenario much more rich when it's something that's a little bit more realistic. And so let me go add those specific things in and make it adjusted for me. It even says it feels realistic and professional. I didn't tell it that, but that's exactly what it assumed, so that's good. Okay, so this is actually not bad. This is really, really good. You know, this is their business model. They want to grow their subscriber base by 40%. Here's some technical projects that they're looking at. Here's some opportunities where we can go and have some alliances and partnerships. all right, this is really, really good. Okay. But let's go have just a little bit more fun with it because, we can do that. Let's go and change the names of the customers for a fun play on the customer names. And so you can see that it has made some changes. Maxine Verstano, Carlos Speedwell, Nicola Drive, and Seb Morelli. That's fun. Just showing you that you can go and make slight tweaks in what it is that it has responded to you for. So I just want you to go and make a small change right here in this section, and it'll go and make that change right there in that section and keep everything else the same. So that's kind of like the integrative iteration, so to speak. And that's the thing that I really, really use actually quite a bit when I'm using Copilot. So this looks fantastic. This is really, really good. And I think that I can certainly get started with creating this. So I want to save this into a Word document because I want to show you that it actually really does work. So it's going to go and parse this all into a Word document. And let's see what it comes up with. So let's give it a couple minutes. If somebody wants to cue the Jeopardy music while it's waiting, or tell a joke while Copilot is making its way through. Okay, here we go. It has created a Word document. Here it is right here. Let's go and see what this looks like. Look at all the other things that it'll do for you, though, within that Word document. It'll add in branding, visuals, follow-up emails, or slides based off of this content. That's pretty powerful, I would have to say. I'm just doing something super duper simple, but there's a lot more that Copilot can go do to kind of extend your thinking and use of its extended capabilities. So let's go ahead and just open up what this file looks like. It's hanging out here on my other screen, so bear with me while that opens up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pop this over to you to prove to you that this is where we're at with it. It created this wonderful Word document. It's formatted it in a really nice way. Now I can go and continue to iterate on it. It got me 80% of the way there. Here we are at, I don't know, about 10 minutes into the demo, and I was able to go do something that used to take me hours to go do. So that's the value that you can really, really get out of Copilot. So I'm just trying to show you some of a rather simple scenario around that. Okay, so let me bring it home with some best practices for all of you, just to kind of wrap it up. Okay, so as I had said, look at how Copilot can actually work within your whole workflow. And that's kind of what I showed you. So I'm sorry, is there a question? Did you need me to pause?
There is a question. We were not able to see the Word doc, Beth.
Oh, no. Okay, do you need me to prove to you that the Word document exists?
There seems to be an appetite for it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sure. Give me 1 second. Let me just stop sharing here. Let me move my Word document over, and hopefully you're able to see it once I share my screen. Give me 1 moment, please. Window, this, share.
Eric.
There it is. Proof. It works. Do you see it?
I see it.
All right. Spoiler, it's in WordPerfect. Thank you very much for dating me on that one. I actually took a class on WordPerfect. There's probably a lot of people who don't know what that is. All right. So there you go. There's your proof that this actually does work. All
now
right.
I'm just waiting for Copilot to create PowerPoint slides.
It does do that, actually. I just haven't done that yet. So
not our version. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe the next one we do, I'll do one that, hey, make a deck for me because I'm too lazy to go do it, and make it and prettify it for me because let me tell you, mine are black and white and really boring. All right. So just a little bit about what I showed you, just why are you using the prompt? I need great ideas for a great demo. What are you going to go do with that output? I need a good scenario that people can actually really relate to and will help them get started. That's what I want to try to get to. And extending what Copilot can go do. I showed a super simple thing of like, parse this into a Word document, but you can think about it just so much more broadly. There are so many advanced scenarios that are out there that you can go and use this for. All right, so you have seen this particular slide before, but I just wanted to kind of show you exactly where it is that we focused on. There's so many more scenarios that you can use, but mine was generating content ideas and help me tell a story. I really want to start to go and use this more for helping me generate business review insights. I want to go and create an agent that sits over the top of that. So now I'm starting to build my skills even further. But you can see all of the kinds of things that you can really start to use from just kind of a generic kind of scenarios perspective of where you can go and keep that conversation going. So just really quickly, I use this for recapping meetings. So I am a OneNote person, and I don't take as many notes in OneNote as I used to, simply because I now can record meetings that I'm in and I'm much more present. I have a big fear of missing out because I get triple booked. I think all of us get triple booked. And I really want to go to everything, but I can't. And so I ask them to record it so I can go to the recap. I may listen to the recording if I need more context, but I'm really looking for the recap. So it keeps me super present in the meetings that I'm in, where I can actually participate in them. I'm not trying to cognitively switch between taking notes and listen and then also contribute at the same time. I use it to research things. I use it to write my team's performance reviews. I use it to write my own performance review. Actually, I've got a really good best practice on that one if somebody wants to hear about that someday. But it's super duper powerful for me, and it's actually changed the way that I work, and it has actually made me more productive in a very material way, very much so. Okay, so let me just leave you with some best practices. Number one, keep it simple and conversational. Just use everyday language. Don't overthink it. Be nice. I always say hi, Copilot. Sometimes I say, hey, let me know when you're ready. Because sometimes I want to just pause. Don't start responding yet because I maybe need to give you more information. But keep it natural, keep it clear. And the more approachable and straightforward your prompts are, the better. Clarity is key for this, I would have to say. Instead of being kind of vague with it, unless you're just kind of looking for ideas, say that you're looking for ideas on something. Just make sure that you are clear. Maybe it's, I need a summary for this meeting in which this person attended. So being specific helps you guide Copilot a little bit to more relevant and useful responses for yourself. Avoid overcomplicating your prompts. So I have seen some people who do these gigantic prompts with multiple different steps in them. These are the instructions I want to give you and all of that kind of thing. That can work for some people. What it tends to do for me, and sometimes even within Copilot, is it confuses things. It's like, I don't remember what I asked you. This was so complicated. And so if you're going to be doing something that requires something that has more nuance, the better approach is to break those things up into chunks. And you can tell Copilot very specifically, don't respond yet. I have more things I want to give you. And it won't until you give it everything you want to give it. And now here's what I want you to do and in what format I want you to respond. So try to make sure you understand what you're doing. Copilot is based off of generative AI. And I have to tell you that every time I practice this demo, I do get slightly different responses every single time. And that's the nature of generative AI. So you just need to understand that, you know, if you ask it the same thing, you may get different responses every time you ask it the same thing. So it's just something that it can be a useful thing where it comes back with different ideas. But you just need to know where you need to have precision on things when you're using it. So that's something that is important. Be polite. Don't be mean to the robots, because this is all large language models. And so what we put into it is what we're going to get out of it. And, and this is the same as any conversation you have with a human being. If you're coming in aggressive, then you're probably going to get aggressive responses. So be polite. it really sets the tone for the conversation, and it leads to much better responses in the long run. Test and refine. So iterate, collaborate with other people on things. Look at what other people are doing for theirs. I think the key here, and what has been working for me, is keep practicing, keep using it every day for something will keep your skills growing on the possibilities and the things and the creativity that it actually starts to unlock for you. Be curious. Start experimenting. There's a lot of different things that are just a part of Copilot Chat if you have access to it. So go explore some of the agents. There's one agent that I haven't had a chance to dive deeply into, and that's the researcher agent, which I am hearing all kinds of amazing good things about. So if you get access to that, use it and try it out. There's a whole bunch of different agents out there that I think are interesting to go and try. And then finally, I'm just going to leave you with this resource. There are so many resources out there. Maybe that's your first Copilot prompt, but I did want to give you the most common one. You can see the link down there. That'll get you started. So these are like the top 10, right? But if you go to that link that's there, what you're going to get is kind of like the landing page where you can really start to dive into a bunch of other different starter prompts. And that's probably going to lead you to a whole bunch of different places because, like I said, these things are all over the place. There's so many great best practices that are out there that I encourage you to go and explore and try and do. So just jump in. It's not as scary as you think it is. And with that, that's all I have for you. So let me just back it up. I'm going to keep it on this slide just in case you wanted to grab the link. But yeah, it's been my pleasure to show you what my journey has been and how I use it and some good tips.
This has been amazing, Beth. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of questions in the chat.
Yeah.
And I would encourage folks, if you've got other questions, please get them into the Q&A. I'm going to push the survey in a few minutes, and that'll block the Q&A. So get your questions in now. Kara actually has 2 questions for us. So how did you set up a work profile and web profile? And what does the work profile, is that configured to pull data from your OneDrive, your Teams, et cetera, all of your Microsoft things, or how does that work?
So this is the configuration that Microsoft has implemented for us as employees. So you've got this. So this is how we have implemented M365 Copilot Chat for Microsoft as a company. And so if you've got the right licenses, the difference between those two is not anything that I had to go and set up. So when I have it set on work, it means that it's going to go and reason over things that I have access to across Microsoft. So it's like the Microsoft graph. So email, Teams, documents that I have access to, reports that maybe I have access to, and all of that kind of stuff. So it definitely does all the security trimming you need. And it keeps everything completely secure. So, our intellectual property is there, anything that I may have that's more Microsoft confidential, that just stays within our tenant. Any of my chat prompts and results and all that stays within our tenant. When you switch it to web, it will reason over the web only, but it still keeps things confidential. It still keeps the things that you have, the responses on your tenant. But it'll go and reason more across the web as opposed to more inwardly focused from a Microsoft perspective. Now, I could still ask it, hey, go find me, like I had to go do this last week, go find me a place that delivers cupcakes, right? I was on work and it was still able to go poke out to the web. But that's the difference between the two. And if you need to, I can go and look up the documentation that helps you understand the difference.
What I'm hearing a little bit of an element of is when it comes to work profiles, your mileage may vary based on your organization's relationship to Microsoft, and you should ask your IT admin.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm showing you my experience, but yes, there is a potential for how your specific organization has decided to roll out Copilot. Every company is different.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Kara also asks, and you mentioned this to me when we were backstage. You said you're now setting up agents to sit on top of Copilot and do things for you. Tell us more about agents and how you've used them to drive your productivity.
So I'm just stepping into agents. So agents are a way of really tuning in how you can use Copilot. So say, for example, I want an agent that will automate. I need you to look at my inbox every day at 8 o'clock, and I want you to go and pull any emails from my manager into this folder or something like that. So it's really great for automating things. And so you give it very specific prompts that you can go and ask it. You can tell it, I want you only to go and look at these sources for it. And then you can go and publish it. It can either be for your use or it could be for the use of other people. So you can actually go and publish it. So you can tune them into whatever it is you want to do. You can automate something. One of the agents that I want to create is I want a SharePoint site that has all of our plans for skilling in it. And each one of our plans that we have, like they're all PowerPoint decks. A requirement I want to have is everyone has to have their key success indicators in them and they have to update them. But now I want to put an agent and say, hey, I want you to go look at that SharePoint site. And these are the questions or the starter prompts that you can start to use to go look out across that data set and say, tell me what Zach on my team is working on and what his latest update is on this project. Right, so you can give it starter prompts for yourself or for other people who might be using it, but you can also ask it additional questions, but it helps you trim down. I need you to go look here. And I want you to be able to get these kinds of results off of it. So agents are very, very popular and very, very powerful. And I think that that is absolutely that next iteration beyond just doing a Copilot chat. It's that next level of power that I think that I'll probably do some sort of a presentation once I figure out how to go make it super simple for other people to see and do. Because it is simpler than you think to create an agent.
Awesome. Beth, thank you again for joining us for BB Dev Days. Thank you again for this great presentation. I've learned some things that I'm going to start using in my day-to-day work, and I hope we can continue a conversation. Folks, please, I've pushed the survey, so please take a few minutes to just answer these quick questions about the presentation today. We do use the results from all of these session surveys to inform future programming and BB Dev Days, other webinars we might be doing, and of course at BBCon. And as a side benefit, the top-rated speakers from BB Dev Days get to join us in person at BBCon in Philadelphia, and we're hoping to see all of you there as well. So please do take the time to finish that survey, and thank you again to Beth. Thank you again to our attendees.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure.